You'd expect a car which carries the name and colours of one of Grand Prix racing's most successful ever teams to be something special. But that word hardly begins to describe the 2-litre Clio Williams 2. Renault Clio Williams 2, June 1994, United Kingdom. The Williams 1 had been a homologation exercise, 2,500 road cars built to satisfy a Group A rally regulation, quickly sold out and then immediately prized by people who hadn't bought one in time. Renault, finding themselves in possession of an accidental cult object at the precise moment the Williams Formula 1 team was winning everything in sight, produced the Williams 2, and this brochure. The cover is a bichromatic void, pure black on the left, hard white on the right. The 449 sports blue of the body and the gold of the wheels are given maximum contrast against both. There is no model, no road, no lifestyle, just the object, existing with the particular self-assurance of something that knows exactly what it is. Open the brochure and the hierarchy of values is established immediately. The entire left page is given to a rally stage, aerial, desaturated, misty. A competition Clio, number 1 on the door, DAC livery, working a tight hairpin on what appears to be a mountain stage. The car is dramatically small against the landscape above it. The caption reads, "Clio hoists the Williams colours." Opposite, in blue capitals on white, "And enthusiasts rally to the flag." The exclamation mark is noted. This is not a car being sold to the cautious. The road car appears below the headline, 449 Sports Blue, floating above its own shadow on a studio floor, and the copy goes directly to the numbers. This is, to begin with, far and away the most powerful car in its class. Its 1998 cc 16-valve engine pumps out 150 bhp din at 6,100 rpm. Even more significantly, it develops a thumping 175 Nm of torque, a full 85% of which is available with a mere 2,500 revolutions per minute on the rev counter. A mere 2,500. Consider what that means in practice. This is not a car that needs to be taken apart at high revs to reward you. The weapon is loaded in almost any gear, at almost any speed, and it waits. The heavy demands placed on the transmission by all that output are catered for by a specially developed 5-speed close-ratio gearbox. The necessary robustness is guaranteed by a reinforced casing, bigger gears, heftier secondary shaft, and new pattern bearings. 3 macro photographs sit at the foot of the page. A checkered flag, the blue-dialed dashboard, the blue-topped gear lever. Turning the page, the left half of the spread is given entirely to the engine bay. A full-bleed close-up of the F16IE unit, lit from the side. The yellow lettering on the cam cover, the intake manifold's geometry, the supporting architecture of something that has been asked to do a specific job and has been engineered accordingly. The caption, set in white against the mass of the engine. 150 spirited horses. The right-hand header completes the sentence, and a chassis which keeps them on a tight rein. The chassis copy is the most technically specific in the brochure, and it earns its confidence. The front suspension is based on the circuit specification design employed by Clio Cup competition cars. Front track has been increased by 34 mm, and this, coupled with uprated springs, anti-roll bars and dampers, results in near competition standards of road holding. 34 mm is not a trivial change on a car this size. It fundamentally alters the turn-in geometry. The brochure knows this and declines to explain it, which is probably correct. The interior photograph on the same spread shows grey cloth sports seats, blue-faced instruments, a sports steering wheel. The cabin is, plainly, a standard Clio's, the dashboard plastic entirely consistent with a car that also came, in the base model, with a modest 1.2-litre engine. The brochure does not dwell on this. The blue dials are doing what they can. Add to all that the stopping power of massive disc brakes all round, ventilated at the front, and perfectly weighted power steering, and what have you got? Quite simply, a car which supplies, on the road, levels of grip and control normally enjoyed only on the track. Turn the page and the script changes. Under a canopy of tall palm trees, with harsh side lighting, a woman in a short dark dress leans across the bonnet of a Clio. She is in high heels. There is a white dog on the far side of the car. The entire image is sepia-toned, no blue, no gold, the car reduced to being an object within a larger scene. The caption reads, in white, "At home off the track." The right-hand page snaps back to white, clean, documentary. The header, "At ease in the traffic." 4 macro photographs, their captions, in sequence, gold Speedline 7-inch J15 light alloy wheels, Williams 2 logo on rear side panels and tailgate, body-coloured sports spoiler integrated with tailgate, integral front fog lamps. Below the photographs, the brochure addresses the central paradox directly. The Clio Williams 2 is, self-evidently, a car which puts performance a long way ahead of all other considerations. But this emphatically does not mean that the pleasure of owning one entails any sacrifice of comfort or practicality. The specification includes not only such refinements as electric front windows, remote control central locking, a good quality hi-fi, and an exceptionally effective ICA-approved alarm system. The passenger sun visor has a vanity mirror. The brochure lists this without irony, which is the correct approach. Side impact protection bars, seatbelt pre-tensioners, lockable head restraints. These are itemised not apologetically, but as evidence of thoroughness, a car equally fluent in both languages. The woman in the evening dress leans further across the bonnet. The dog waits patiently. Neither appears to require further explanation. The final page. The car reappears, 3/4 front view in its uniform of 449 sports blue and gold speed lines, above its name setting wide-spaced capitals. Then the grid. Curb vehicle weight, 2,181 pounds, 990 kilograms. 990 kilograms, sub 1 ton in 1994, with a 2-litre engine. This was not an accident. The brochure does not say so, but this figure was a primary engineering directive, Renault resisting the temptation to add bulk, keeping the shell lean enough for the chassis to do its job. Everything that follows in the specification table flows from that number. Induction capacity, 1998 cc. Power, 150 bhp din at 6,100 revs. Torque, 175 Newton meters at 4,500 revolutions. 0 to 62 miles per hour, 7.8 seconds. Maximum speed, 134 miles per hour. Drag coefficient, 0.33. While none of these numbers are remarkable in isolation, taken together in a car this size and weight, they become something else. The equipment list occupies the right column in dense paragraphs. Towards the end, under Servicing, 1 year free RAC membership. The RAC membership is, if you think about it, the one moment in this entire brochure where the practical dimension of owning a French performance car in 1994 is acknowledged. Not dwelt upon, simply noted. Under Interior Storage, centre console with illuminated ashtray, cigarette lighter, rear ashtray. Listed as standard equipment, without comment, as is correct. At the foot of the page, Renault UK Limited, Western Avenue, London, W30RZ. Renault recommend Elf lubricants. The Williams 2 was built as an afterthought, sold as a luxury, and as aged as a benchmark. The purists never quite forgave it for being more than the homologation minimum, for arriving with electric windows and side impact bars, and the small but symbolically significant additional weight of a car that wanted to be parked near a restaurant as well as driven on a rally stage. But the formula it proved, 2 litres, sub-1 tonne, competition-sourced chassis, was inherited, refined, and ultimately perfected by everything that came after it. The Clio 172, the 182, the 200. Each one owed a debt to the Clio Williams demonstration that the standard Clio's bones could carry a genuinely serious performance application without compromise. The Brochure, with its rally photography and its palm trees and its gold wheels against 449 Sports Blue, understood this before most people did. It was not selling a car. It was establishing a mythology. The mythology was entirely justified.